What it makes me feel, though, is sad.
2 round of applause for yourselves. Well done just for getting here. Tremendous.
What do you guys think about the evolution of cars in general? Like, you have to do less and less in a car.
I don't think there's ever been a more exciting time to be dealing with cars. They're undergoing massive change. Manufacturers are going to start making mistakes again, which is great. They already are.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened for a long time. So as commentators on cars, this is the richest period we've had. I'd say even including the beginning of cars.
Has anybody driven the Mitsubishi Fair?
There you go, right there. It's a manufacturer.
mean, that's a bad car. They've made a hybrid. They said, well, we need a petrol engine, we need an electric engine, we need to be able to charge it up. And they made an absolute, total mess of it. And this is when was the last time there was a total mess of an ordinary standard family car?
Not for decades.
Not for 10 or 15 years.
A more Mark IV Escort.
No, a proper.
The Orion, yeah, the J-Ridge Orions. That period. That was the last really genuinely bad family car. But Mitsubishi's come along and made it's appalling. I mean, really, really appalling.
Which
and of
is
course,
great. So they're making mistakes.
It's 2-star safety.
Yeah, about a mistake.
Let me ask you a question because I wasn't quite.
That's not how it works, James.
You said, I know it's not normally, but you said you have to do less and less in the car.
Yeah, I'm afraid in about 15, 20, or I don't know, 30, 40 years, there won't be even a steering wheel anymore in a car.
Will never
there's
happen.
Not a clutch
no,
anymore.
Because we are the consumers. We get what we demand.
Yeah, and I'm
there
afraid
will come a time when autonomous cars will happen and
let the man
motorways will.
speak.
No, I'm making my point in a forcible fashion. Fight! I was really enjoying that. I was really enjoying
the
that.
still small voice of reason.
Really?
What was the question again?
I'm seeing the clutch disappear, the manual gearbox, and last week I saw I'm from Holland. I saw a commercial sign.
Never mind.
Yeah,
it's okay.
exactly.
You can share that here. That's all right.
But anyway, I saw a commercial sign now on every BMW, a standard automatic. So everything is like being with buttons and screens, like in Tesla.
Yes, I know what you mean. But hang on, are you still worried about the ignition advance control?
Do you want to advance and retard the ignition manually?
About
do you want
what?
to lean out and rich in the mixture manually?
The ignition
What do you want
advance
to do?
control and the mixture control disappearing from the steering wheel. Are you worried that they've gone? They went in about 1948.
Do you miss the hand throttle on the steering wheel? Would you rather a centre accelerator? I think the business of propelling ourselves from one place to another ourselves and operating the machine ourselves will always chime with us at a primal level. That's never going away. And if cars become increasingly autonomous and if motorways one day flow seamlessly because cars do it themselves, fine, but it won't stop the rest of us wanting to spend our time when we're not commuting to and from work.
I think we're a minority.
That
That's what I'm afraid of.
If I may just have my...
Let's just, one at a time, you.
I'll never get... No, it's when the steam engine came along, obviously the horse should have been eaten. But it wasn't, and then those people who are horse enthusiasts continue to run around on them, and that's fine. And it'll probably happen with cars.
Yep.
With us, everyone in this room, even if everybody is sitting in a Google upside-down cesspit, reading the newspaper as they go home, which may well happen, or you call an Uber drone to take you home, who knows what will happen? Who knows? As Hammond says, it's a very exciting time to be involved with cars because the change is huge. But there will always be those of us who really love cars who will still on a Sunday afternoon be able to go out in a 275 GTS or an XR3 or whatever takes our fancy, or even a car that only has 2 wheels.
Exactly. There's a lot of very,
but I agree with you.
good
I totally agree with you.
ready meals available from supermarkets, but more and more people than ever are enjoying cooking. And I also think that the problem with our enthusiasm for the autonomous car is that we think, wow, this is amazing, it's going to do it, and your car will currently do it for 10 seconds. But actually, driving cars is one of the most sophisticated and clever things that people do. Processing information at the speed that you have not evolved to deal with, and you do it, and replicating that with autonomous software and algorithms is far less easy than people are stating. I'm not saying
that's a lot of answers to that one question.
I didn't understand any of that, but he's...
Well, that's okay, but he's
sure he's right.
His question.
What it makes me feel, though, is sad.
I just can't help thinking that Thanks to all sorts of things, the environment, the economy, problems in the Middle East, the relentless war on speed, cars like this will soon be consigned to the history books. I just have this horrible, dreadful feeling that what I'm driving here is an ending.
Okay, next question. I'm one of the crank handlers, so I will get in my character. And
Oh
put on
yes,
my
now I
helmet,
recognise you,
because
yes.
most people recognize
Yes.
me with
It's
my
one of the
helmet.
crankies, chaps.
Yes.
So my question is, since I'm with vintage cars, what would be the vintage car each of you would drive?
I'd quite like to drive the Ferrari 488 GTB, which is almost a year and a half old, very vintage.
I would go for, I can remember, James, what's the nomenclature of that Vauxhall?
No, there's a filter that cuts James out. We have this on the programme. It's fine.
He gets through 10 mics a show.
He does.
James,
yeah.
what is the nomenclature of the Vauxhall with the really talky, it's about a 4-litre straight 4, about 1930?
Can I just say, while Hammond is remembering things,
Yeah.
I hate vintage cars.
He does.
I don't really
I
like
know,
vintage
this is
cars.
what it's
I
all
like
about. This is why DriveTribe was
Precisely.
born, to bring it on to why we're all here. It's because you have people who love vintage cars, you have people who like cars, as I said earlier, with 2 wheels, you have people who like James who think they like Ferraris. And, so we're all different. But, the idea that you have the controls on the outside of the car, and the handbrake here and the gears, and what's that thing that does the
Advance
ignition
and
on the
retard.
that, on it like an aeroplane, that really obviously floats your boat, whereas it doesn't mine, which is exactly, as I'm with James, my answer would be whatever I drove. Actually, I came here tonight in a Renault Scenic, and that is shit. But generally speaking, modern cars, apart from the Scenic and the Fev, tend to be better than ones where you have to lean outside to operate
It's a
things.
Vauxhall Prince Henry. And I always thought Prince Henry was a ring through your cock, but it's not. It is. Really talky. I love those things.
And
Friends got one, I want
and
one.
we're off the internet.
Sorry.
So we may have lost sight of your actual question. What was it?
What is a vintage
Which
car you would
vintage?
drive?
I
Which
couldn't
is
name
not-
a vintage car. I don't think I would. I don't honestly. What is a vintage? Well, how old does it have to be vintage?
Well, I believe it's just before the Second World War.
Before the Second World War.
Yeah, I think
The
so.
Beetle.
The Beetle. Come on, can't you come up with something cool like a race car or whatever?
But isn't that a bit like saying, I want to listen to some music, I'll listen to it on a 78 record?
Well, a lot of people are now.
We're not 78.
No,
We're getting off topic.
We
Anybody
are,
else
we're
got a
drifting off
question?
topic.
I
What about-
apologise for our uselessness on vintage cars.
But you do look great in that hat.
Yes. Yes. We've read all about it. We've seen
Yes.
it on DriveTribe.
The gas kings? Funny God! Yeah, great to follow you. Thank you very much. Oh my God! I got a little present for you. A Dutch present? Yeah, because you got a nickname.
Bananas.
No, how could you guess? I've been wrapping this for an hour.
I do like a banana. That's very kind. I'm not quite sure why you brought me bananas.
Because of the name orangutan.
Oh, the ape. Got
Yeah,
it.
of course.
I'm being stupid. So how is your vintage car tribe coming along?
If you ever come to
We're always coming to the Netherlands.
well, then join me now.
Okay,
I
I've
will
got
prove
to.
you that you don't hate me.
Okay, now that I'll do. Right, have a picture.
Really good.
Vintage
Best
car. But the control's on the wrong side. Series 10.
The greatest live road in the world.
Oh, that must have.
Yeah, that's Stelvio.
Stelvio, yeah.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Many thanks.
My absolute pleasure.
We also have one for you.
Would you mind? Oh, you should open it right now. Thank you. This is the best present you've ever had.
Kind of like.
I'll hold your drink. I'll give it back in a second. Just open it.
I think it will be really useful. I guess.
You've wrapped it up a bit. Is it delicate?
Yeah, really delicate.
No. You can just
No, you can tear it open. It's fine.
It's impossible to open. It is literally impossible.
Harder.
Put so much sticky tape on it.
Wait.
James, just tear it open. James has been waiting for this all his life.
Well, you said it was delicate.
Yeah, let him over
That's how
there.
you do it.
Okay, I can do it from there. Right, okay.
Since you like BBC probably a lot.
There's a really great car show.
That's a really nice press.
You should check it out.
What's that one? I haven't got my glasses on. What does that one do? That's a £10 certificate.
Yeah, it's something with the BBC store.
Is it still valid? Is it valid?
It's new.
Yeah, of course. We just bought it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Looking for presents for
No,
ours.
I might buy a DVD of my own programme. That'd be lovely. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's what we thought about.
I can give it to somebody as a present. Thank you. That's very nice. Another drink. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. That's really nice.
Richard. Yes, hello.
We bought 3 of you a present from the Netherlands.
Oh, thank you.
Here's yours.
You're very kind. What is it?
I'll hold your drink.
Right, open it up. Hang on, you're filming.
Yeah.
Take out an attack.
It's so safe.
Perfect colour.
Yes.
It's all about safety.
Well,
You'll see where I am.
Yeah,
You'll see me coming in. I think that could work. That could work. Safety first.
yeah.
Might be one of my daughters. Thank you. I should wear it. We'll see it in one of the episodes. We'll see it in one of the episodes. Yeah, well, it may be a bit of a squeeze.
Yeah.
Well, I tested it for you. I fit it.
And well, yes, it'll fit me. I'm sure. I'll squeeze into that. No problem. Everyone's having fun. Yeah, great. Where did my drink go? Who had it? Yeah, here you go.
I surely buy
Holding the camera. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Two staple diets.
Our job is done here.
Yeah.
James put the BBC card in his jacket.
James loved the BBC.
Yeah, he was so happy with it.
Richard still is holding the
Jeremy,
jacket.
Oh my God,
Jeremy
that was
was
great.
really hungry, so he's
Yeah,
now
and
eating
Jeremy
all the
really
bananas.
likes bananas. Yeah. Well, now the show is ending and we're off to Paris right now.
Oh, we need to leave. We need to leave actually.
Well, not right now.
Not yet.
No. We'll close the door here.
And I am, and the man that I am is all that I am. No more, no less. God bless. God damn, life is easy, living is hard. Just another riddle in the middle of the scarred. So why do I do what I do when I do it? Truth be told, I'm like, yo, I never knew it. Everything I know never mattered anyway. Everything I know now, Marcus J say. Reflections are all I'm able to see. So everywhere I look, I see another me. I see no need for help from someone else. Thank you, but I can do bad all by myself.
Go to the BMW right now
Yeah.
because we're off to Paris.
Yeah, Paris.
After a great evening in London.
How can you make that up? We go to London and the same day we go to Paris. And
We go
are
in
so
3
lucky.
days. In 2 days, we're in 3 capitals.
Yeah.
Amsterdam,
Yeah.
London,
Paris.
Paris.
Perhaps we will
And
even go
crossing
to
through a
Monaco.
lot of countries
No.
like
Wait.
Netherlands, Belgium, France, England.
yeah.
A lot of countries.
But Belgium is not a real country, so.
Yeah. Don't step
Atalanta?
into the coffee.
You dropped your coffee.
No, I didn't. You did.
And you did.
Taking off my shoes, it's so nice. Oh.
Okay, I can't get in the car right now like this.
No, because it's London.
Oh.